Hello everybody and welcome back to Raw News Network. Before we start the video, don't forget to like and subscribe as it means so much to us. Thank you for the recent support on our channel and the latest video for Arsenal Slaughter. Now, on with the video. For the major update that Typical Colors 2 has received, the executive update, many changes have happened. First, 7 new maps got added to the rotation. Those are Mock, Capture the Flag Sawmill, Arctic, Defrost, Snowduct, Badwater, and Upward. Upward and Badwater are 2 new additions for the payload. 7 new maps were added to the rotation for the Versus Bosses game mode, which are Coldvine, Military, Outdoors, Pineyard, Roadway, Rooftop, and Rust. Remember that you can access the Versus Bosses game mode by clicking on one of the 3 links in the description of TC2. Next, the 6 maps that were remade are Gorge, Harvest, VSB, Harvest, Pineyard, Double Fort Desk, and Wholesale. 4 new crates were added, those being Cosmetic Crate number 5, Cosmetic Crate Arsenal, Cosmetic Crate Classic, and the Holiday 2020 Cosmetic Crate, each containing 8 hats. Lastly, 6 new VIP server exclusive maps. They are Baseplate, The Underground War, Sword Fights on the Heights, Turbine, Rig, and Target.
There are also new weapons for Brute, Arsonist, and Agent. Brute's 2 new weapons are the M249 and Bulema, later renamed to the First Responder. My new primary weapon would be the Silence Pistol, and the final weapon for the executive update would be the Arsonist's Detonator.
The M249 does not need to be revved up unlike the other miniguns, and has a 100% damage bonus. It is also 33% more accurate when shooting. For the negatives, after the user fires 100 shots, you need to reload the gun to fire again. Each shot contains 75 fewer bullets, and a 33% slower movement on the user while shooting. A good melee to pair with this weapon is the boxing gloves, as you can quickly switch to the M249 and deal crits for a short period. The First Responder is another minigun, but instead of having fewer bullets, it has 50% more per shot. Whenever an enemy is hit with a bullet, you get 1 HP back from the hit. The 4 negatives are a 25% damage penalty, 75% less healing from medic sources, a 50% slower recharge rate for secondary healers like the burgers, and a 25% slower firing speed.
The Silence Pistol is another primary for agents. There are 4 positives and only 1 negative for using this pistol. The 4 positives are the silent shots, a 33% larger clip size, a 25% boost in firing speed, and a 66% max secondary ammo on the wearer. But the main reason you might decide to not use this weapon is the 40% damage penalty. This can put you in many bad situations if you're up close to the target and can only do a small amount of damage. The new Arsonist weapon, named the Detonator, is the flare gun's bigger brother. It deals mini-crits to all burning players and has a large explosive radius. It's also able to launch you in the air, as it has a 50% self-damage penalty. To make up for the large range to burn players, it also has a 25% damage penalty when used against enemies. And last, a returning item, the Pan. The Pan is an all-class weapon, excluding agents and mechanic. But it will appear as a Pan instead. But the twist was that this Pan cost 50,000 funds. This was thought to mess with the fans who wanted to see the return of the Pan, which made them keep asking to lower the price, with the community practically begging for the price to go down.
Another update for TC2, the Fit with Fittin' update, brought many rebalanced weapon updates and 11 new weapons. One being the Furious Flags. This melee can be used on Trooper and Annihilator. It has a slower equipment speed and deploys and holsters slower. The one positive it has is when you stand on a point, it doubles the capture speed, similar to the flanker. But the two negatives are the 10% slower movement speed and the 10% damage vulnerability when used. This will work the best if you are playing on attack defense maps.
The Mule Mauler 600 is a laser-type shotgun for flankers. Similar to the Mechanic's Einsteinem, it has a 20% debuff when used against an enemy mechanic's buildings and players. The Mule Mauler has a small clip size of 4, but infinite ammo.
Trooper received another melee, the Equalizer. Damage increases when the user becomes injured and also includes a 15% base damage bonus. The debuffs are damaging yourself on miss and a 25% slower firing speed. Arsonist has two new melees, being the Escapist Escapade and the 1000 Degree Axe. The Escapist Escapade is similar to the escape plan used for troopers, having a damage penalty of 20% and a 20% damage vulnerability when hit. When the weapon is active, you can use this to escape if you're in a situation where you have to retreat to your team. You can hit other players to get a temporary speed boost to add with the 15% faster movement speed when equipped. Final weapon that Arsonist received in this update, the 1000 Degree Axe, is a great way to gain health and drain the opponent's health at the same time. When you hit a target, you burn them for 10 seconds, while gaining HP since all the afterburn damage is received as health. There is, however, a 25% damage debuff.
Annihilator has two new grenade launchers, the Celtic Cluster and the Bikini Bomber. The Celtic Cluster is very similar to Troop's Double Trouble and fires 2 bombs. It has a 10% explosion radius increase when it explodes, and you will take 25% less damage when blast jumping with it. There are 5 negatives, which are a 35% damage penalty, a 75% less clip size, giving you 1 shot per round, bombs go in a slight 2% spread compared to stock, 66% lower reload time, and 36% less knockback on hit. This makes the weapon situational, performing best in crowds. The second weapon for Annihilator is Bikini Bomber, identical to stock, with a positive of not requiring ammo, though you only get 3 grenades, and it has a slower reload time compared to stock. And that's all the weapons Annihilator receives for the Fit with Fittin' update.
A new member of the Coil family has been added, the Regen Coil. The Regen Coil allows the user to regen 8 HP per second. As expected though, it removes the ability for overheal from doctors completely and has a 25% damage debuff.
And for the last new weapons for the Fit for Fittin' update, Doctor has a small set of wings called the Mercy Kill. By pressing the spacebar, you can slowly descend and avoid fall damage. You get full air control and a 100% increase when you jump with this equipped. Be aware though, because you get no primary to use in the long ranges, leaving you to your saw. And finally, the Mischievous Machete, used for the Marksman class, has a 25% damage debuff, but the amount of damage that it deals is dependent on your health. Having less health will deal more damage. And that's it for today's episode on the latest TC2 updates. Be sure to join our Discord server and follow us on Twitter for updates.
And we're signing off.